Hey y'all, welcome to the Max. So y'all have heard me talking about our schoolroom, finishing up projects in here. I just finished painting Sayla's desk. If y'all remember what it looked like last time, the top was brown and the bottom was white. It was kind of like an off-white color, but it had so many stains on it. What I did is I went ahead and just gave it a little facelift. The top is now teal. That's what she asked for. The bottom, I just stained it with brown, mostly in hopes that that would help cover up some of the other stains. And I went around the walls because, you know, the kids love to color, but it never goes in the right place. So I went around on the walls, and lemongrass, if you do not know this, I got this from Bulk Apothecary, and it is a 16-ounce bottle of lemongrass. I love their essential oils. When I make soap, especially when I make it in bulk, I buy these big bottles. But one other project needs to be done, and that is Jennings and Libby's desk. It is like a baby desk. These little chairs go with it, and I just got through scrubbing those down in preps for our next school year. But this is gonna be a fun project. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna pull out a wild card and do something a little bit different. I'm gonna be throwing paint on the baby's desk to give it just a bunch of different colors. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully they'll like it. I think I may have more fun with it than they actually would have had. I don't know, we'll see. Lots of different colors right here. I'm gonna start off with those. I do kind of dread going outside because it is so hot, but I can't sling paint in the house, so we're gonna go right on the front porch and sling paint.
Tonight we'll go a different way, you and me. Tell your friends that this might take some time, and you'll be back another day. I can see us breaking down the barrier.
Well, I finished the desk, and I'll tell y'all what I did. When I was slinging the paint, it was actually splashing in some places real thick and thinner in some places. Had I been able to do it again before I figured that out, I probably would have loosened the paint up with some water, but I was trying not to make it real complicated. I really just wanted to stick the brush in, sling it on, and be done with it. But because of those big splotches, I mean, some were just like piles of paint, and I was like, the kids are going to end up scraping this off. So this is what I did. It turned out pretty cool. Just smearing the colors together so it would be an even, smooth surface. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a facelift because the kids had been coloring on it, carving in it, and everything else. So just a little bit of different look for the babies. And it's not professional, and I'm not an artist, but just give them something a little bit different. I like to try to make the room fresh and a little bit different from year to year. So this is this year's different, slinging paint and making a rainbow table. So I don't know, we'll see what they think about it when they come back home. Oh my goodness, y'all, if y'all cannot see the sweat on me, Mississippi summer is definitely no friend of most people. I don't want to complain though, because I don't like the winter. But you cannot stay outside very long without just being absolutely covered in sweat. The downside to what I just did is slinging paint. I slung some on me. I had an apron on over my clothes when I did Sayla's desk, but I ended up taking it off before I decided to sling paint. So now I'm going to get my lemongrass and scrub my clothes. Lemongrass is one of my favorite essential oils. Lemongrass acts like fingernail polish remover. And sure enough, I used it one day. So then that kind of cued me to think, well, I can start cleaning with lemongrass. And y'all, I have scrubbed marker off of this wall down here. I scrubbed marker off of actually this chair. The back of this chair right here had all been colored on. This wall down here, that's just Libby's height. Yeah. Guess what? Had a marker on it too. Some of it was Crayola. Some of it was like Eliza's very artsy, and I love her, and I like to get her things like this, but she doesn't keep up with her stuff. And when she leaves them on her desk, can you guess who gets them? Yes, Livy does. Also, this wall right here where our light switch is that goes out of our schoolroom also had marker on it. So I scrubbed those down. I knew that that desk right there was not going to come clean because it had everything from Play-Doh to marker to snacks, and I could have sanded it down, but I really didn't want to put all that energy into the desk because I knew that the kids were just going to do the same thing this year they did last year. So that's why we splash painted it and then smeared it in. But I think it will just giving them a fresh look kind of makes them excited about school for the new year. Because my children are home all day, and I guess they don't have anything else to do, they also remove doorknobs. The other desk is missing one too. So right here. So I have a couple of clear knobs, kind of like the one that we already have right here. Just because it matches everything, I'm going to be replacing those. And also considered in here is our puzzles, and on this side is our paint and art box supplies. I'd also considered getting farm styled knobs, like a handle for this. I'm still looking. I don't want to spend a lot of money, but Colby built these for this entertainment center just so I could close that off and we wouldn't see everything in there. But y'all, I think I'm finally done. Now that my makeup is melting off, I think I'm finally done with our school. As we prepare for the next year, Aiden's going to be going into 10th grade. Harley's going in the 6th grade. Eliza's in the 5th. Selah she's splitting lessons. We're still working on phonics, language, reading in the 2nd grade, but she is moving on to 3rd grade in math. Jennings will be starting. He's going to be in a mix of K4 to K5. He will be 5, but he would have been like the baby in the quote kindergarten if he was going to school, because he's literally just now turning 5. So we're going to kind of play around with K4, K5 material, and then Livy, she's just the tornado of the schoolroom. But we are going to be kicking off. I have a couple of more books that I come across when I was cleaning out the desk. So we are going to be kicking off school here in just a couple of weeks. And I'll tell you one thing I liked about this year, the way that it worked out, is that we were done in March. We started in late July last year, worked through all of August, September, October, November, December. We only took bare minimum breaks. We just didn't do long holiday breaks. We jumped back in January, February, the beginning of March. We were completely done with all of our lessons. This year, we're going to kind of mimic that. Planning on starting us in a couple of weeks, probably 2 if our books can be here on time. Aiden is going to be doing all of his own work, and I will just be the supervisor. He will have a teacher for most of his subjects. He will be in geometry, world history, Spanish. Oh, that's going to be fun because I don't speak any Spanish. Biology and keyboarding. It is exciting that we're going to be kind of kicking off this new year, and I like to provide them like a fresh room with the new posters. It's kind of a new look, fresh looks on the desk, new things in the schoolroom. We added this globe a couple of years ago, which is actually not in the right place. Some things from year to year just to kind of change it up so the kids don't get bored. I know I'm not the most fun teacher. We come in, we get right to work. I don't sing and dance and play. I don't do a lot of science experiments. We get right into our books and do the work so that we can be done and move on. As you guys know, there's lots and lots of farm work and chores that have to be done, cooking from scratch. So that means I have to maximize my time the best I can. The kids get what they need from school. Aiden actually just took the ACT when he was in 9th grade. He did average on it, so that lets me know at least I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. He actually scored higher than I did in school, and what his daddy did when we were in school. We went to public schools, and we have a good public school system here in our area. You know, indoctrination is going to creep its way into every public school. That's just the way it is when you're in the public school system. But we have decent teachers in our area. And we really did years ago when we were in school, but because the Lord led us to homeschool, that's just what we felt like we were supposed to do. So hence we're at home. I did not go to school to be a teacher, so I know that I'm not the best teacher, but we do the best we can. I try to teach my kids, make it fun and interactive without just having to like bring in volcanoes in the classroom every day. Because the kids would definitely love that, of course. Well, now that I'm changed out of all of my paint clothes, I'm actually about to run to Dirt Cheap. I heard through some local friends that they have some notebooks and some school supplies in there that are literally dirt cheap. So I'm gonna go check it out. Anywhere you can save and pinch pennies, I always do that. I've got to be running to town anyway. Aiden is going somewhere this afternoon. So on our way out, he and I are gonna stop. We're gonna go through the store and check out the sales. I'll show you guys what I get if I find some good deals, so stay tuned for that. But also, y'all, over 10,000 subscribers. Y'all always blow us away every single time. Y'all are amazing. You rock. Thank you so much for coming over and subscribing to The Max Life, where you see what goes on inside the home, outside on the farm, and everything in between. So thank you guys again. We really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for always watching our videos, commenting on our videos, giving us those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to us and encourages us to want to continue to make content. But I want to give y'all an update on the fish, the aquaponics. Now that we are able to get some of the fish over in the ponds, our next step in this is we're going to be building like an ecosystem for them. I'm in the process of getting some lilies and stuff to put over in there. Then our next step will be running lines to my rock beds, which is the next step that we're going to be setting up. Hopefully once I get those all built and put together, we can start growing in it. So you see, we do things in stages. We don't just jump in. We try to invest slowly, build up things over time, save in places where you can, like go into Dirt Cheap on your way out. Don't waste the extra gas money. On my way out, if I can get 10 notebooks for $1 instead of 10 notebooks for $10, I've saved $9 just on notebooks. So here we are in our shop. I see it's already starting to get a little mucky down in there, and that's okay. That's gonna happen. There's our biggest bass that Aiden caught a couple of days ago. This is our medium bass that Harley caught, and Aiden caught a little brim. So there's our fish in this pond. I'm gonna give y'all a glimpse at our tilapia. Now they still are really, really small. I've actually been surprised at how slowly they're growing. So there you have it. I'm gonna tell you what I've actually been doing. I've actually been cheating a little bit, and I've been coming in the top of this container and dipping out of that water and feeding some of my plants over in the greenhouse and just refilling that back up, because it's the same concept. This is one that we bought off, I don't remember if it was Amazon. We're a little concerned about these parts. It's like a cheaper version of PVC box pipe. So we've thought about putting it together. This is where your plants are supposed to be to grow, right here in these little growing holes. And your water just runs, it starts at the top and it just runs through and goes out the bottom and goes back to the pond. We have our doubts about this. We are going to hook it up when we're ready for that stage. We're gonna try it. Who knows, we'll see how it goes. But we are filling up with fish right now, which is a good thing. Once we get that done, we're gonna start setting up our ecosystem for them. The process now of going along with that next step of we're gonna have lilies in there as a source for them to be like in a natural habitat. They'll feed off of those some as well, nest in those. We want it to be as close to a home environment for them as possible. After that phase, like I mentioned, we're gonna get our rock beds and stuff set up. that is the #1 thing that we're shooting for. We're gonna try the other little contraption out. Who knows, like I said, if it will work, but we're excited. One step at a time, we'll get there. But that's an update of the fish and the aquaponics and where we're at with all of those. Didn't find as good as deals as I was hoping. This one is 75 cents with 50% off. So that's not terrible, but I was hoping for a little bit better. These actually rang up. You know, I told y'all some of these actually had 99 cents on the back for 50% off. And some of them had 75 cents on them with 50% off, but I actually got all of them for 25 cents. So that was a really good deal on the books. I feel like I was already headed that way, so just wanted to drop in. We even got some graph paper for just a couple of dollars. So this will go in on Aiden's schoolwork. So in all, I got 2 graph notebooks and 7 regular notebooks. This will at least get us kicked off and going into the first semester. And I did find those for pretty reasonable deals. So there you have it. A couple more supplies and we'll be completely done and be kicking off school really before we know it. Hope you enjoyed the little visit. Not too much going on today, but really it was baby steps add up, right? So little baby steps, making forward progress. Hope y'all enjoyed today's visit. Happy homesteading, y'all.